Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a terrific Tuesday so far and a good week up to date. Today, we're going to be diving into our daily cryptocurrency market update, and apologies for it being a little bit later than we usually put one out. But we've got a number of things that we've had to sort of go over. I've got a number of interviews in the pipeline for you guys. So we're going to be talking about a variety of things in this video. We're broadly going to be looking at the crypto space at large. We are going to be taking a look at the dollar, which is showing quite a bit of weakness right now. And in actual fact, Bitcoin's at this pivotal moment at the moment. Where Bitcoin is, it needs to hold. It needs to not reject and start to fall lower. What it's doing right now is making its mind up, essentially. And I've shown you guys this chart time and time again. And I'm going to show it once more. It's from the root, and it talks about short-term hodlers. Now, Willy Woo's spoken often about this. Willy Woo's been in these markets for years. And short-term hodlers, when they're at an all-time high, have typically signaled the top. And when they're at an all-time low, have typically signaled the bottom. And where Bitcoin is still currently, and where it was a couple of days ago, is the bottom for short-term hodlers, which indicates that we're going to start to see a move upwards. There's a number of things that are coupled with this, like where Bitcoin currently is in regards to the sort of 42k range being extremely significant. When we were below this, we said, look, if you break this and you break it clearly, there's going to be momentum that follows it through. And we did see a charge yesterday. However, you know, people are wanting to kind of short this level. I can see it within the shorts, but that's what we want. We want people to become bearish, because it's often shorts, certainly leverage shorts getting liquidated, that causes the price to climb higher. We know that this move here for Bitcoin was really caused by shorts getting liquidated. And we can see, you know, certainly you can see the move that I'm talking about over here. This was largely shorts getting liquidated. What happens in downtrending markets like this is people get complacent, and they get very familiar and comfortable with shorting or momentum trading in one direction. And then they eventually get caught out. And that's why we have these kind of explosive pumps to the upside like we've previously seen. We're now waiting for that follow through. And it's quite often, if you kind of look at Bitcoin at this level, there's always quite a bit of indecision that takes place. You can see over here, you've got this kind of indecision candle. You know, you can see here, indecision, 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 and so on and so forth. And you can see, you know, this is a key level where we're at. So if we can hold this like we previously have on a number of occasions as support, can you see how many times this has acted as support? We're off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. And I think one of the main catalysts for this, you know, there's a lot of on-chain analytics that suggest Bitcoin is oversold right now and is in a kind of buy territory. But one of the catalysts I think for this is going to be is the fact that we have the CPI, the Consumer Price Index for the United States, coming out on Thursday. We're already seeing a somewhat weak dollar on the back of a number of things. We saw the euro pump pretty hard against the dollar. I don't know how many of you guys are into the FX market. It's not a market that I trade, but it's certainly a market that I keep an eye on. I mean, the FX market moves in 1% and everyone gets excited, whereas crypto is a lot more volatile. But anyway, so I think given the fact that the dollar is already seeing quite a bit of weakness and is potentially going into a CPI data reveal that, in my opinion, my estimates are it's actually going to come out higher than the previous one. We're going to end up somewhere around 7.2, 7.3. Typically, that's going to be good for Bitcoin, as it's going to show dollar weakness. And I've been doing a lot of looking into history. Read this book, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're into crypto, whether you're not into crypto, this book is going to help you understand why the world is the way that it is. And everything that governments are doing today has already been done throughout history. And look at what the results of it were throughout, you know, the entirety of history. The book is called A Brief History of Money, 4,000 Years of Markets, Currencies, Debt and Crisis by David Arell. Amazing book. I've read this book about 4 times now, and I'm dyslexic. That is saying something, guys. Get this book, give it a read, and you'll understand the world that you're currently in. So things are looking good. This chart is, I'm going to keep bringing it up, guys, extremely significant. On-chain data matters. Now, it has in some cases, or certain on-chain data, a bit of a lesser effect than what it previously has had in terms of accurately predicting things, because we've seen a whole plethora of models get thrown out the window, certainly last year and towards the end of last year. But it still matters, you know, and that short-term hodler ratio is typically in an oversold range still. And where it was in terms of a low, we had only really seen in sort of 2014, 2013, or 2014 after the sort of 2013 run, which is saying something, guys. We were lower than the bottom of the 2018 bear market. So your altcoins are following along nicely. I actually happen to think there's a number of support and resistance flips happening here. Can you see? Resistance, potentially now flipping it as support. Your EMA is caught up to you as well. Same thing going on for Cardano. I really like the setup for ADA. Some beautiful things taking place with Cardano. And one thing that's really going to attract a lot of people to ADA is some of the yield farming opportunities that we're seeing. So the train is moving, guys. All those people that are bearish are starting to disappear. Happens time and time again. Careful who you listen to. There's a reason, and I get a lot of flack for being almost a perma-bull, that I'm bullish on the crypto space in the way that I am. And it has everything to do with what the Bitcoin archive posted here. In red, you have the internet, and you have the adoption curve that took place. And in the dotted line and the purple, you have cryptocurrencies or blockchain, really. Blockchain's a better way to describe it. Look at where we are and look at where the internet went to. We're going to go in the same direction, but we're going to do it in a faster manner. And the reason being is because the world is more adept to adopting technology than it previously was. So it's a very bright future that we have in front of us. I get sick and tired of people moaning and complaining and why haven't we gone to the moon already and this and that and the other. It's all relative. If you've been in crypto for as long as I have, believe me, going through the bear market 100% changed my life. I've already been to the moon. We're going to go there again, but these things, you know, what people seem to forget with crypto, certainly people that are new to crypto, let's take Cardano as a beautiful example, the beautiful cryptocurrency that it is. Let's just use a 3-day chart for argument's sake here. It went from 2 cents to over $3. You're going to have a cool down from that before it sets up and sees that next leg. That's how markets work. They don't just, and you don't want them to just keep going up, because then you end up with a tulip mania that crashes and never recovers. You know, what we're seeing here is growth and adoption take place in waves, and it comes in waves form. Same thing for Ethereum. And of course, we've seen Bitcoin do this time and time again with its kind of longer cycles. So apologies again for this video coming out slightly later. I'm going to keep doing these. I hope you guys are finding these useful, entertaining, and informative. Remember, I do have a Discord for those of you that want to join the community. There's a link in the description. I'll make sure the link is up to date. Often I'll put an old link in there, which is invalid, but I'll make sure that this one is valid. Give me a follow on Twitter, guys. @RealAllInCrypto is what you can type in to find me. And I'm really going to love and leave you on that note. This was just a short and sweet one. Apologies again for it being slightly late. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated, so is a comment. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Remember, you've got quite a bit of indecision for Bitcoin, but it's typical at these points. And when it does indeed act as support, it acts as support. All I have for you in this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next one.